So today's video is dedicated to my cigar loving audience because I finally got around to filming an entire cigar collection video. I haven't actually done a collection video, not since the first video that I had, and I know you guys loved it. I know you always want to see more content. Obviously this video will be heavily, if not completely, demonetized, so I gain absolutely nothing from doing this, but I still did, when I thought about what I wanted to film today, want to share it with you because I know a lot of you out there find these videos quite useful. I think cigar smoking can be quite daunting, especially if you're new. The more resources that are out there, the more helpful voices that can hold your hand through these things, the better. Certainly I was fortunate enough to have that be the case for myself, and so is my partner, and so I kind of want to share that with you. I'm just literally going to be showing you through the collection. Here I've got a humidor, I've got some boxes and things behind me as well, so I'm just going to share them. It's going to be quite chit-chatty and casual. Before I start though, I obviously have to give many disclaimers. First of all, the fact that, you know, this is an 18+ substance, it's tobacco, and obviously with any other excesses in life, such as gambling or alcohol, smoking tobacco products do come with those, so obviously be a discerning customer. However, for the consenting and well-informed adults, I don't see that there is anything wrong with talking about cigars. And if you are a cigar hater who has come onto this channel, as many do, to try and troll me or to even attempt to say you're going to die within 30 years and whatnot, you've come onto this video, you knew what you were getting yourself involved in. In fact, I would dare say you're a little bit cigar curious, or you just have nothing better to do in your life. So before you leave a salty comment, I'm well aware of what cigars involve. Clearly you do not, otherwise you wouldn't be saying misinformation or just hatred in the comments. Please leave the community alone. That is everybody's personal choice. It does not affect you. I feel like I always repeat myself in every single cigar video I make, but I feel like I have to do it just in case. And it's a free resource, right? I'm getting nothing for this, so I'm being the internet punching bag just for no reason other than for your own enjoyment. Anyways, rambling aside, let's get straight into it. I will start with this big humidor. Any good cigar lover who has more than, I would say, like a few sticks of cigars will probably want a humidor. You don't have to get a humidor. Obviously you can store them in like Ziploc bags, and you can get things like the Bebida pouches, which have basically two-way humidity controls. Put one of those in there and, you know, you're good to go for a couple of sticks. If you have more, I would definitely recommend you get a humidor. Probably gonna get more in the future, but just for the time being, this was like my starter humidor that myself and my partner share. Very, very simple. We didn't want to overly invest too much in our first humidor. Just does what it needs to say on the tin, right? So just humidity controls, and so currently it's at the sweet spot of 70% humidity, which is awesome. And I also keep it regulated with, you know, various Bebida sachets, and we also have in here the liquid solution. This is running low, that's why we're using the sachet, but otherwise I have this humidor solution. And of course, below the humidity dial, we've got all kinds of other accoutrements, matches, lighters, cutters and things like that. Not going to drain too much because it is a collection video, but if you would find that useful, I can always cover it in a separate video. This humidor can actually fit, I think, up to 40 or 50 sticks, depending on the size. So obviously you can see a lot of Churchill and Corona size cigars in here, a lot of torpedoes, so with that pointy edge, you know, it would take up a lot of space. Currently we have, let me just see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cigars of that size. A lot of these my partner likes to smoke because he's a bigger guy, you know, he finds it a more comfortable smoke, and he can smoke these for like an hour, almost 2 hours, depending on the company, depending on the occasion. I do, on the odd occasion, smoke these. I think they are really boss. I mean, the size of them is really, really cool to smoke, but I find that I need to take breaks in between, or, you know, I can always just put it out and then, you know, come back to it at another point in the day. So of the 11, I believe, I have in here, 8 of them are the Oro del Mundos, and I'll just put the box down here and I'll just take one of them out of the cellophane. And this is a Nicaraguan cigar. I do hope that this is focusing. I don't have a viewfinder at the moment, so I will just hold it a sec more. What I should probably mention is a lot of my cigar collection at this moment in time is predominantly New Worlds. Obviously, when I went to Cuba and I started this whole journey, I had a lot more Cubans because they were very inexpensive to buy in Cuba. They were like Hebas for £15 or something. However, leaving Cuba and, you know, going out into the rest of the world, Cubans are very expensive, even if you go and buy them in, you know, tax-free, duty-free places. That's why you see a lot of New Worlds at the moment. And in addition, I buy a lot of my cigars at the airport. That is my favorite way to shop, to be honest. And I can cover my processes in a separate video again, because this will take so much time. Myself and my partner wanted to, you know, get something new, not too expensive, because if it doesn't work out, I don't want to have loads and loads of them lying around the house. So the Oro del Mundo was a really good inexpensive option. I think it was Israel, Tel Aviv airport, actually. Yeah, so I think Oro del Mundo may actually be an Israeli brand. In any case, the leaves are Nicaraguan, and I love the detailing on the label. I think it's quite unique. That's what I love about New Worlds a lot, is that they have a lot of interesting labels, shall we say. They're a good smoke, lasts me about an hour, hour and a half. It's quite a medium body cigar. It's quite an uncontroversial smoke, though obviously over time it can be a little bit much, I think. Not necessarily on the throat, but it gets kind of bitter. Other than that, in the box we have 3 separate cigars. These 2 were part of a selection pack, and then this Partagas was bought separately. Let's talk about the Partagas first. Isn't this a boss Partagas? I mean, this is the largest cigar I think I've ever seen in person in my life. Partagas is one of the big 4, right? You've got the big 4, the Cohiba, Monte Cristo, Romeo and Julieta, and Partagas, and I really like Partagas. I actually think after Cohiba, I prefer the Partagas next. It's very, very smooth. When I can't get my hands on a Cohiba, I think this is a really good smoke. It's got nice sweet undertones as well, but not super overpowering. A nice light to medium body smoke. I really like it. And this size will be very entertaining to smoke indeed. And then the other 2 that I have are actually, I think it was from a selection box that we may have bought together. Here is the Perdomo. Perdomo is really good, actually. I quite like Perdomos for, again, just like an all-round crowd pleaser. It's, I think, medium-bodied. And this one is the 20th anniversary edition. Again, labels are exquisite. I think they are super stunning. You even got like some metallics in there as well, which is quite unique. And it's obviously special because it's 20th anniversary. We keep all of our labels as a side note. We have a scrapbook and big pages where we like to stick them all and just collect them. I think it's really, really cool. I will say they are not super astounding, but for an inexpensive New World, try a Perdomo and see how you like it. My partner likes these a lot. It's not my favorite, but for a smoke where you're not having like a special occasion or something, this will do just fine. And, you know, obviously for the price point, you cannot go wrong. And then this one is the Jamie or Jaime Garcia, and this is the Reserva Especial edition. And I forgot to mention, both those sizes, I think, are in Petite Corona sizing. They are in the same size. This one is a bit chunkier, actually, so a little bit different. Is it Gordo? Let me just see. Yes, this is the Toro Gordo. And I think this might be Petite Corona because the ring gauge is a lot thicker on this one. So Gordo meaning fat, I suppose. There you go, some jargon there. I haven't actually smoked any from this brand just yet. We've just prioritized, I guess, the Perdomos and the Oro del Mundos in this box because we have a lot more of them. But this one I'm excited to try. Dark wrapper. Usually people say dark wrapper is like heavier bodied or maybe more bitter. I don't usually find that to be like the case universally. So we'll see. This is very different in terms of the usual brands I go for. I had not heard of this Jamie Garcia brand before, Jaime Garcia, however you want to say it. But I like to explore new things, and, you know, I always like to look them up as well before I purchase, just to see, you know, reviews in general, kind of taste profiles and things like that, so I know what to pair. Now I'm going to go for the other kind of little humidor, and this one is a special box because it's come straight from Cuba. As you can see, the Cuba embossing and the classic car. And this one, if you recall, my first ever cigar video was filled with the most beautiful Cubans ever, and I'm so gutted because we've smoked a lot of them and I should have seasoned them a lot more to age them for like maybe a year, 2 years. And I obviously took out the Boveda pouches that are in each of the boxes that don't have the, you know, actual humidity control system, and these are smelling so nice. So in here I'll take out the 2 New Worlds, the rest are obviously Cubans. And the 2 that we have are Flor de Silvas, and these are in the Siesto size, very diddy little size. And these ones, again, these are, I think, Honduran brand. These were bought, I think, at Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, so last year. And these ones, I'll say, you know, very good value for money, but nothing that wow about them. If you want a smoke just to get you by, this one is okay, something that is fine. But I think for the price, you could instead get a cigar like a Flor de Cano, which I personally think is like a budget Cohiba. I really enjoy that cigar, and I'm gutted that we've run out of those, and I really want to buy some more. I think these Flor de Silva sticks are very cheap. They're about £9–10, I think, if you get them tax-free. However, we didn't find them to be something that we liked to reach for time and time again. So for that reason, you know, there's still 2 left after even a year and a half. But actually with other cigars that we got from Cuba, where we had several sticks, countless sticks, they've all pretty much gone because we just like them so much. So that's the only thing I would say about the Flor de Silva. I cannot comment on their other cigars in their ranges. Maybe they will be different, but at least for this specific series, not the biggest fan, but each their own. Everybody has a different palate. Now let's move on to the other Cubans, and you know, straight away we've got to talk about the king of them all, and those are the Cohibas. And these are the ones that are just for me because they are the smaller sizes. We have like the Petit Corona size, and I think the Robusto sizes. And these are purchases that we got from Cuba, so it only made sense to get some Cohibas because they are so expensive outside of Cuba. In the UK, this stick alone could be about £65. This one could be about 50, potentially even more depending on if you're going to a lounge or something and they mark up the price. And you know, they're cigars at the end of the day, they will get smoked. So I don't want to be spending a lot of money on them if they're just going to get smoked, even though they will be extremely enjoyable. If I go back to Cuba at some point soon or in the neighboring countries, I will definitely be picking up more because these are just the pièce de résistance of Cubans. It's not just about the brand, they actually taste really good. They smell really good on the nose and in the mouth. Obviously you are not inhaling, that is by no means what I'm saying. That should be a given for cigar enthusiasts, that you are not inhaling into your lungs. That's a no-no. But when you are holding that flavour, that puff of smoke, it's so fragrant. There's a lot of depth and layers to the flavours. It's spicy, it's sweet, it's really aromatic, and there's a lot of depth to the flavour as you exhale as well. So really, really love these. These are celebratory cigars. You know, if there's a big event happening or, you know, a milestone, then I will smoke these. I am saving these and I am seasoning those. Then we have actually another Cuban, a very good brand, and it's an H. Upmann. And I believe from memory, hopefully I get this right, the H. Upmann uses a lot of different parts of the tobacco plant, the different leaves, whereas the Cohibas, and I think a lot of the other of the 4 big brands, use just one specific part of the leaf. So very different flavor profiles. However, I do like an H. Upmann, a lot lower in price. You're talking maybe 30% lower in price than the Cohibas. I think this is a great smoke for, you know, that Cohiba vibe, but without the price tag. I absolutely love the smell of it. Super, super spicy. Dates smell. Really, really rich smell. So I absolutely love this one. Cannot wait to smoke it. And it's a Magnum 54. So that is really cool. Then we have another Cuban, which I think was one of the first cigars that I tried and I really liked it. And this is the Quai d'Orsay. And this is in a special edition. This is bought from Andorra because we went skiing in Andorra and we bought this Andorra exclusive, as random as it is to find an exclusive in Andorra of all countries. Very petite, very ditty, and I think it would be a great half an hour, maybe even less smoke for me. The only other branded one that I have is one of the other of the big 4, and it is a Monte Cristo. And this is one that I've had many times. Absolutely love it. This is bought from Cuba. Really enjoy these smaller smokes actually. With the prices in Cuba, they were so, so good. I cannot begin to tell you how much I was refraining myself and restraining myself from buying more cigars. Then the only other smokes that we have in this box, as you can see, are unbranded because these are very special, because these were hand-rolled cigars from local cigar artisans in Vinales, where, you know, cigar enthusiasts will know Vinales is the top place to go and grow tobacco plants. And so this is really something that is a true souvenir from the country. They still smell so, so fragrant. They even, I think, infused the leaves with vanilla and honey and things like that when they were fermenting the leaves over time. So it's honestly amazing that you can smell that sweetness throughout the body of the cigar. I think we bought a pack of 20, I think, or 25. So we just have the 6 left. They don't keep as well as the classic Cubans or even New Worlds, I think, just because the fact that they are handmade and they only came in a banana leaf. So we're doing our best to keep them. But yeah, we absolutely love the fact that we have some local cigars because it just makes the whole collection so much more worthwhile to have. Now moving swiftly on, because we still have 3 boxes, if you can believe it, to go through. This is a box from none other than Davidoff, the iconic Swiss cigar brand. Obviously recently I'd made a video speaking about my experience in the store and meeting the founder, Eddie himself, or the founder's son rather. It was a wonderful experience, and you know what, when I went to the airport recently in Istanbul, I stumbled upon the Davidoff section of the cigar store and immediately thought, you know what, it's been some time since I've enjoyed a Davidoff. So we got a selection box. We love to get selection boxes if we haven't tried them or we want to just explore something without committing to a bigger box. It's always great, and they always come in really exclusive packaging. And this is the gift selection. It came with 9 cigars. Obviously, we've since enjoyed some cigars because why not? So we've got some of the signatures, the Anniversary, Millennium, the Escurio, the Nicaraguan, the Yamasa, the Winston Churchill, and then the Late Hour. So we have a really cool selection. Obviously, just tried 2. I'm still yet to pick a favourite. I need to make some more notes on it. But I absolutely love Davidoff, and obviously it's sentimental given the recent experience that we had. And let's move on to the other boxes. So this, we have another wonderful presentation box. I absolutely love the experience, the luxurious experience that you get with cigars. There's always a different type of packaging that's either elegant or edgy, modern or sophisticated. You know, you get so much character, not just in the cigar, but in the packaging itself, and I absolutely love it. So the Plasencia's Nicaraguan, I believe, actually the Davidoffs are Dominican in the leaf. So we do have a great array of selections from the New World. Very inexpensive. I think a lot of these were like in the box in total, maybe around 100 euros equivalent thereabouts. You can have a search online, or if you're in the airport, you can stop by. So with the Plasencia, now I've tidied up all the cigars. This is how it would look. We had 6 cigars in this selection, and it's in the Reserva Original series, so all the different sizes, which is great. Kind of light to medium bodied again. I've had Plasencia before in the past, and it was a recommendation. I think I got one in Copenhagen at one of the lounges there. Super nice guy who runs the store, and he said definitely try it, and I absolutely loved it. And also something to mention is, depending on the country that you go to, there will be a label which is not the most aesthetic. You know, it has like smoking kills and smokers die younger and blah blah blah. I'm pretty sure I'll outlive most people who are just eating candy and lying on the sofa like a couch potato. That aside though, you can get the stickers off with a little bit of elbow grease and a lot of patience. However, for this one's going to need a little bit longer to do, and this is the final box, and this is the Macanudo, and this is the Honduran cigar brand. I've had this again also in Copenhagen. That was a recommendation. Absolutely loved it. My partner loves it too, so we wanted to get a selection box, and it is stunning. You have the 5 Robusto cigars here. You've got the Inspiro white, orange, black, green and red. Very, very inexpensive. I think this whole box was about 55 euros. So you can see the price differentials between Cubans, which could be up to, you know, hundreds a stick for a Cohiba. You can then go down to cigars that are New World, which are, you know, like €9 or something a stick. But I do love the Macanudo. I think it's a really good, inexpensive option, and it was nice to try more of the range. I think we had only tried the red and the white before, but not the others. So that is the cigar collection. I hope you enjoyed the video. In the future, I'd love to add more Cubans to the collection. Some of the favorites that I've gotten from Cuba, I really want to repurchase from the Big Four and otherwise. I'd also love to add some more New Worlds back into the collection because there are some favorites that I've had. One of them I think is from Deadwood, and there was a one called Fat Bottom Betty, and it was really, really cool. It had even like chocolate notes. A little bit artificial, but I really found it interesting. And sometimes with New World, you can get really experimental cigars and then just explore new brands from new regions in the New World. Obviously, I've done a lot of Nicaragua, a bit of Honduras. I'd love to do a little bit more of Dominican Republic. Anyways, I'm going to put everything back, maybe even enjoy a sneaky little cigar. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll catch you